Hi guys, Nathan Middle Down Under here. Now I wasn't planning on making a video this weekend, but I was watching YouTube and a contest came up from my good friend Keith over at the channel Attack from Down Under, fellow Kiwi, and it's always great to have another Kiwi here in the vinyl community, especially on the heavy metal side of things. So I thought, yep, I've got to jump on his channel. What's great about this, it's a contest for his 2 years in the vinyl community. It's been great to talk to you over the last couple of years, Keith, and to get to know you. The contest is called Phobia and Seasons. 4 questions, really good questions too, and I quickly pulled out some stuff and wanted to get in on this early. With it, you can either make a contest entry via video, or you can just leave a comment in the comment section, which is awesome because not everybody wants to make videos. So that's really, really cool of Keith to do that. Right, what's playing in the background today in honor of Keith? We're listening a bit of Kiwi rock and Blackjack Deal. Can't remember what quite year this came out. It was early to mid 90s anyway, featuring the one and only Paul Martin from Devilskin. So that'll be playing in the background. Right, let's get on with it. First question, he wants us to show phobias, album covers with our phobias on it. Now I've got 2 phobias. I don't have too many phobias, but I've definitely got 2. Now the first one he did actually say in his video, I have got an absolute fear of these creatures here, snakes. Can't stand them. Briar, Crown of Thorns is the album. Came out about 1988, if I remember correctly. Hard rock. But when it comes to snakes, luckily we don't have any snakes here in New Zealand. I can go out in the bush and not have to worry about snakes trying to get me. Well, that's what I think they're all trying to do. Haven't got a phobia of spiders, anything like that, insects, but definitely snakes. I've seen snakes before, but only in zoos. Also seen a snake in a bird's mouth in Australia, but it was flying in the air, so it didn't bother me at all. But when it comes to snakes, what I put it down to, back when I was very, very young, I saw part of a movie I probably shouldn't have. I don't know what the movie was called, never come across it again, but in the particular scene I saw, there was a lady absolutely screaming. She was covered, she was in some kind of encasement, and she was covered in snakes. And to this day, I think about that, and I think that's partly why, but yeah, snakes, keep them away from me. So glad I don't live in Australia, for example, for that reason. Second one, I have got a major fear of drowning. They say that it's a peaceful way to go, but it certainly wouldn't be for me. And so I've gone with the album from Mark G with the Seas, Enchantment and Cold Soul Embrace. Here we have a lady here who's been chained in, and obviously she is drowning. And yeah, I reckon it'd be a horrible way to die. Obviously being burnt alive would be worse, but I can't see this being very peaceful personally. Now what I put this one down to, when I was young, I went to a local swimming pool here, and they obviously have the shallow end and the deep end, and I slipped into the deep end, and my sister had to drag me out of the deep end, and yeah, I thought I was going to die, to be fair. I couldn't swim at that stage. I still can't really swim now. I'm not a fan of the water at all. I don't like going to the beach. Matter of fact, I'm not really a summer person, to be fair. I'm more of a autumn, winter. Prefer a bit of the colder weather. But yeah, I don't generally go swimming. The closest I get to is having a shower, generally. But that's just me. My wife loves to go to the beach, and I try and avoid it to my best ability anyway. Yeah, don't like swimming. So yeah, that's that question. Next one, Seasons. He wants us to show an album that we'd like to listen, or a genre we like to listen to in the summer and the winter. Now I'll go with the winter first. Now generally in the winter, if it's dark and gloomy and cold outside, I want it to be dark and gloomy inside as well. So I've just pulled out a couple of albums completely randomly. that I'm more likely to listen to in that season. Not necessarily I won't listen to other stuff, but yeah, I love to listen to this stuff in the winter and the colder weather anyway, the gloomier weather. So I'm going with my favourite death metal band of all time, a band I'm going to be seeing for the first time finally this year after all these years of loving them. That is Obituary, the most recent album, Dying of Everything. I believe this came out in 2023 if I remember correctly. But yeah, real dark, slowed down, death metal, doomy stuff. I love it. And then I've gone with a bit of Kiwi metal, a bit of Imperial Slave, Still at Large, the most recent album from 2023 if I remember correctly. Fantastic thrash metal, verging on death metal, especially when it comes to the vocals. Love this band, about to head overseas to play some shows, which is awesome for them. I've actually, the singer used to be the drummer in the band 8 Foot Sativa, if you've heard of them. And I know him quite well. He's actually been to my house a couple of times. And also know the bass player. My son went to school with him, and showing my age there. But yeah, went to one of his birthday parties when he was very, very young. So yeah, bit of Imperial Slave. Seen these guys a number of times now, always put on a killer show, and down to earth lads, Imperial Slave. So that's the sort of stuff I like to listen to in the winter, generally. In the summer, it's the complete opposite. I like to listen to the anthemic, catchy choruses, just feel-good music. So I just picked out two more randomly. First, we're going with Rat and Dancing Undercover. Always loved this band ever since I saw the cover for Invasion of Your Privacy. Never heard of them until then, but that cover, being a young lad, piqued my interest for various different reasons, and I've loved the band ever since. So a bit of Rat, and then a bit of catchy as power metal from the one and only Trick or Treat. Album is called Creepy Symphonies. This is your anthemic, catchy choruses, really feel good power metal that I absolutely love. Love cranking this sort of stuff in the car, the windows down in the summer, along with the hair metal as well, glam metal. So yeah, Trick or Treat. Third question, he wanted us to talk about show a soundtrack. Jumped out at me straight away, had to show this one. Favourite movie of all time. It will be my second favourite soundtrack of all time, but that is The Warriors. Movie soundtrack from 1979. Love this album so much. Love the movie ever since I saw it for the first time. Doesn't matter how many times I watch this, I just love it. And the soundtrack is awesome. Not rock or metal really at all. It's more your pop sensibility sort of music from the 70s. But there is one song in here you might know. I can't remember who it's sung by, but it's a song In the City. Really good pop song that I really, really enjoy. Now, if you don't know what The Warriors is about, it's about the gang, obviously called The Warriors. They got themselves into a bit of a situation, and they're trying to get back home to Coney Island in New York, with a whole lot of gangs after them along the way. And I was lucky actually to get to Coney Island in New York in 2023, which was so amazing for me. Love this movie so many years, and get to their gang home was just awesome. I picked up a whole lot of merch there as well to do with the Warriors and Coney Island, and yeah, super happy. I was actually sent this from the one and only Jim Davies a few years back. I knew I was after it and found me a copy. This is my second favourite soundtrack of all time. Favourite soundtrack of all time would definitely be the Lost Boys soundtrack. Another album that Jim kindly sent to me. But yeah, The Warriors. Do watch it. It's a great movie if you've never heard of it or you've never seen it. Right, fourth question. He wanted us to show some favourite pickups we've picked up from our favourite record stores. Now I'm going to talk about a couple. One here in New Zealand, and one in Germany. The one I frequent the most is obviously, it's about 3-hour drive from where I live. I don't get there as often as I would like to, but I've picked up some really good stuff from there over the years. I've picked up so much I couldn't remember exactly what I got from there, but these 3 are really, really good ones, in my opinion anyway. Now back in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s, I was hugely into my New York hardcore, still am to this day, but I didn't own anything from this particular band. Just couldn't find the stuff here in New Zealand, and back then in the day you couldn't buy records from overseas so much from here in New Zealand, but I found 2 albums from a fantastic New York hardcore band, and the band is Madball. So I picked up Hold It Down. Now this is a 20-year anniversary album. Absolutely fantastic New York hardcore, sort of like the second age of New York hardcore. Obviously bands like Agnostic Front, Cro-Mag started it, but Madball actually came out of members from Agnostic Front. And yeah, Hold It Down. So happy when I found that. And then another time I went there, probably a year or so later, I found Madball's Legacy. And this was the first ever vinyl pressing in North America, retail exclusive. But obviously I found it here in New Zealand, and I was super happy to find this. This is a later album from 2005. But just as good as the early stuff in my opinion. I actually think I prefer the later era stuff to the earlier stuff. Really frantic New York hardcore, and I love it. And then I found this. This is an OG copy. It was obviously originally maybe a UK copy, because there's a price ticket here for £3.50. But yeah, that is Wasps, Headless Children. I couldn't believe that I found this. I think they've reissued this. I'm pretty sure they have, but so happy to have found an OG copy of this. Now I found this way back at the start when I first started collecting vinyl again, and yeah, when I went to this, it was actually the first time I ever went to the store. I saw this and yeah, snagged it. And back then it wasn't expensive. I probably would have paid maybe 10 New Zealand dollars for this back then, but now if you were to find this in the store, you'd probably be paying closer to 70, 80 bucks, so it's pretty ridiculous with inflation. But yeah, very, very happy to have found that. So that, I don't know if I said the name of that store. It's called Vinyl Countdown. If I didn't say it, Vinyl Countdown here in New Zealand. Love that store, very friendly staff. Now they have all styles of music in their store. But they have a really good rock and metal section on vinyl and CD, also t-shirts, DVDs. So yeah, love that store. I was actually there a few weeks ago actually, and I picked up a couple of albums, which I'll be showing in a future update. A couple of reissues. One reissue and one brand new album. Right, the other one is a store in Germany. I've been there twice now. And I'll be hopefully heading back there when I'm in Germany again in July. Fingers crossed if I have time. The store is called Remedy Records. Now they are just dedicated to hard rock and heavy metal. So you walk in there and your mind is blowing, because there's just so much stuff to look at. You walk in there, you almost forget what you're after, because you just get taken to different sections and you grab other stuff instead, and you forget completely what you're looking for. And over the 2 times I've been there, I've picked up some killer stuff. But I just grabbed out 2 albums completely random that I picked up from there. First one is a folky melodic death metal band, an album I was missing at the time, and that is German band Equilibrium and Armageddon. Saw this band last year for the first time live, and they blew me away. Almost sound as good live as they do on the records. Now this isn't one of their finest albums, but because I love the band so much and I'm a completist with the band, I had to grab it. So Equilibrium, great album, even though it's not the best. Still, I love all their music. And this one here, couldn't grab fast enough. Picked this one up in 2023 when I was there. This is obviously, not sure if this was ever issued on vinyl when it first came out. This is obviously a reissue of it, but I never thought I'd own this on vinyl. Mark G with a C kindly sent me the CD a number of years ago now, but to find the vinyl of this with such an amazing cover, I had to snag it, and that is Lost Society's Brain Dead. My favourite album, hands down, from the band, and they will never be able to recreate such a fantastic thrash metal album, in my opinion. They've changed their style these days anyway. Still enjoy them, but nothing compares to their thrash metal days, and especially with Brain Dead. So this is a couple I picked up when I was in Germany. Remedy Records is the name of the store. If you're ever in Hamburg, Germany, go and check it out. The girl was working there the first year, friendly as, had a good chat to her about all things heavy metal. Second time I was there, I didn't really get to chat to anybody because they were all busy working. So yeah, that's my answers to the questions. Well done, mate, on 2 years in the vinyl community. You're doing really, really well. Always love your content. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. Keith from, I was going to say my own name, Attack from Down Under. Down Under's in the name as well. So yeah, I will leave a link. Jump on his channel. Please subscribe to him. Really nice guy and shows some really, really cool stuff. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.